I was thinking about if somebody was to ask me, would I recommend to innovate, to try something, to build something as a researcher, as a student, as a professor, I would uniformly just say no. I think it is a bad decision, and yet I still did it. And I want to explain that, what's going on there, and why it actually suggests that is a bad decision. So the reason why I chose to do it is that it was passionate. I had the resources to do this, in the sense that I'm eating Halloween candy right now. It's November 2nd, 2022. And I was a professor of entrepreneurship and innovation, and I had financial resources, not a lot, but enough to get this thing going. So I dedicate roughly 10 to 15% of everything that my family makes comes in to build this thing out. So we're actually privately investing in this project, and we've been doing it for a number of years now. So, there is the investment cost that's associated with it. So even when I have all of this stuff all put together, um, you know, a business professor makes pretty good money, but overall, it's a terrible decision. Um, the key thing to remember and to think about is, even though that you might be ready for this, you have to fight so many uphill battles with it. Not only are you fighting the sort of typical uphill battles of trying to find your market, trying to sort of fit in with the marketplace and all of it, the product market fit and those kind of things, but also you are fighting an uphill battle both with the sort of institution that you're part of. Most institutions are not going to be accepting of something like that because it is unusual, right? And so if you're unusual, you don't sort of fit in with what normally people do. And most organizations don't do well when things are not normal. They function well if you fit within the norms of how things are normally done. And then the other thing, it's not just the institution, but it's the larger impact that you have and the culture of academia, culture of research, is that doing things like these is you're not a true researcher, you're not a true scholar, you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, and that's very cultural. That's very much built into how we sort of view the world. Um, Even more so, you might think, hey, this is really strange. Within a business environment or business school environment, it's even more so. The norms are very baked into it, and there's a lot of pushback against doing anything that might be considered relevant or part of business culture. And so you have to fight back against that kind of stuff. And as a new scholar, as a researcher, you often don't have a lot of political clout. Um, People end up losing positions. Far too often they just don't fit, and then they end up not working out at the institution. So you need a little bit of cover because there's a lot of people that don't believe in these kind of things. Um, so on top of all of that, if you are not ready for any of these uphill battles, so imagine doing research on steroids. If you're not ready for any of these uphill battles, you're just going to want to quit this thing because you're spending your own money, your own resources, your own time on something that is not, doesn't work out, that is not going to be immediate in any sort of way. And so you have to be well aware that all of these things are playing in. And then you're also thinking in the back of your head, um, I shouldn't be doing this. I feel like all of these emotions that you would feel as kind of entrepreneurial kind of stuff is very much so, but then compounded on top of it. Now, would I personally do the reciprocity project again? I think if it was me, and you go reverse time, I'd probably still do it because I feel so passionate about this problem and what we are doing that I think I would still do it. Um, because there's so much that is missing that, you know, not only is there no tools available, but then we put people in these positions that makes that they feel bad about themselves for being inferior or not ready or any of those kind of things, like all of these emotions. And for me, I want to speak openly about those things. I want other people to know that this is like a thing and it's real, legitimate stuff that happens. And I want to tell that story. Um, and so I'm being public and open about it. I'm being the person that is I guess, the Pied Piper, or the person, the lemming that's going pushed off the cliff. Um, I know it's a risk. I know it's problematic in a lot of different ways, but you do it anyways. And I think that's what I am doing and what the way I view myself. And it's not necessarily a good thing or a positive thing, but I have to do it. And it's something that nobody is going to do. And you're going to be like the outsider. I'm the outsider. And nobody's going to want to do this kind of stuff, but you do it anyways. Right? And if you're not into that, if you're not the person that's just going to do it no matter what, don't do it. It's going to be too hard and you're not going to like the whole process. So you have to pick it up and do it yourself, regardless of what people are saying, and block out what everybody is saying and just do it. Just walk forward and be yourself and tell that story. Um, I think like that's the important thing with it all. So should you do any innovative activities as a researcher? No. Um, can you do it in a less public way, perhaps, but you're still fighting a lot of the issues that you're going to fight along the way, that I experience, that I'm open about, and I tell you about. So I just want you to know that if you do choose to do it, just be forewarned. You're going to experience a lot of things that are not going to be positive, and you have to work through those things because that's what you do. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.